Welcome back to the deep dive. Our mission here, it's always the same. We take the sources you share with us, the articles, all that deep reading, and we try to distill it down to the most potent knowledge.
And you've sent us a really interesting stack this time.
Yeah, it's focused less on sort of external events and more on our internal architecture. I mean, the specific strategic power of language itself.
That's right. And this isn't just about, expanding your vocabulary for the sake of it. It's more like upgrading your operating system for influence.
Right.
We're looking at words that describe how you move through the professional world and, critically, how you can structure your thoughts to really affect those around you.
I love the central metaphor the sources gave us. They frame it so beautifully. The idea that words are the clothes your thoughts wear. And if that's the case, we are not just looking for something functional today. We're in the bespoke tailor shop looking for those high-quality garments, the ones that convey authority, sharp insight, and real importance.
Exactly. We've pulled out 3 concepts from the material that are just incredibly powerful tools. They cover presence, perception, and clarity in communication.
Okay.
So we're going to spend this deep dive unpacking the meaning, the roots, and the high-stakes application of 3 remarkable words: gravitas, perspicacious, and salient.
Let's jump right in. Starting with a word that I think really addresses that physical and emotional weight we carry into a room. Gravitas.
Gravitas.
That's Gravitas. And the definition is, dignity, seriousness, or solemnity of manner. But that almost feels like it undersells it.
It absolutely does.
Yeah.
I think a lot of people confuse gravitas with charisma.
Right, with charm or just being likable.
Yeah, but they are fundamentally different. I mean, charisma can grab attention for sure, but gravitas commands it. It's not about what you say first, but the whole atmosphere you create just by being in that space.
I think we've all seen this happen. You can picture a chaotic meeting and a senior leader or an expert walks in.
And everything just stops.
Yeah. Exactly. They don't shout. They don't have to be warm or smiley. They just possess this weight, this seriousness that makes people naturally turn and quiet down.
And that feeling of weight is not just a metaphor, which is the really fascinating part of the etymology.
Oh, this is good.
Gravitas comes directly from the same Latin root as the word gravity.
Yeah.
So if you possess true gravitas, you actually function as a force. Not a pushy one, but a magnetic one that pulls people in. It centers their focus on you.
That distinction is so important because when people try to fake authority, they often default to being loud.
Or aggressive, yeah.
And that just alienates people or it makes you look arrogant. So how do you make sure gravitas doesn't just come across as, standoffish or just overly serious?
Well, that's the subtlety of it. The sources are really clear that true gravitas is built on 2 things. Confidence, yes, but it's tempered with wisdom.
Okay.
Arrogance speaks constantly because it demands attention. Gravitas is completely comfortable with silence. It speaks only when it has to, and when it does, it's clear the statement has been really thought through.
So if you're trying to cultivate this, what are the actual behaviors? Is it about how you pace your speech, your tone, your body language?
It's a whole package, but managing silence is probably number 1. Someone with gravitas doesn't feel the need to rush and fill every conversational gap.
Right.
They hold eye contact. They have a steady, measured vocal tone.
Yeah.
Think about that example from the source material.
Do you want about the youngest person in the room?
That's the one. Even though he was the youngest person in the room, he spoke with such gravitas that the board members listened intently. He didn't have status, but he had projection.
And in that kind of high-stakes environment, being the youngest means you have to establish credibility instantly. Gravitas does all the heavy lifting for you before you even present your first idea.
It does.
It's like you're signaling, I respect how serious this is, and I have given this the profound thought it deserves. It just changes the power dynamic completely.
Absolutely. It bypasses age, it bypasses title, it projects a depth of character that forces everyone to mentally elevate you to their level. It's the ultimate tool for influence in a job interview or a big pitch.
So gravitas handles our presence, how others see us. Let's pivot now to the second word, which is all about our internal machinery, how we actually process the world.
From presence to perception.
Exactly. And the word for the sharp observers among us is perspicacious.
Ah, perspicacious. It's a great word.
It is. And for anyone looking it up, that's Perspicacious. It's an adjective. It means having a ready insight into things, basically being mentally sharp. But there's a difference between this and just being smart.
A critical difference, yeah.
Yeah.
Intelligence is about acquiring and applying knowledge. Wisdom is knowing how to use it over time. But perspicacity, that's a specific quality of vision.
Vision.
It means you see through the noise, through the confusion, to the underlying structure, and you see it almost instantly.
So it's not just that you know the facts, it's that you know how the facts connect. You're connecting dots that other people don't even see yet.
Exactly. The source material had a perfect analogy for it. It's like having a high-definition lens on your brain.
I love that.
While everyone else is looking at a fuzzy, low-res image, the perspicacious person sees it in 4K detail. They don't just see the problem. They see the why behind the problem. They can spot the one weak link in a long chain.
Okay, let's make that really practical. Say you're troubleshooting a project. How does perspicacity show up in that moment?
It shows up as deep pattern recognition, systems thinking. Imagine a complex business decision. You've got multiple departments, conflicting goals.
The classic scenario.
Right. An intelligent person can analyze the spreadsheets. A perspicacious person spots the hidden bias in the CEO's original proposal. Or they realize two totally separate problems are actually symptoms of the same core flaw.
We've all been in that meeting. You know, the one that goes on for hours, you're drowning in details, and then one person makes a single comment.
And the whole thing just clicks into place.
Yes. And that one observation reveals the true flaw that everyone else missed because they were too busy looking at the symptoms.
And that moment is so valuable. The comment isn't just correct, it's foundational. It totally reframes the entire discussion. The source gave that great example. It was a perspicacious comment that revealed the true flaw in our project plan before we even started.
That's potentially months of wasted effort saved. It really shows that perspicacity isn't just some intellectual game. It has huge practical, even monetary value.
It absolutely does.
Yeah.
But it also has to be delivered correctly. And that brings us back to gravitas.
The connection.
Because a raw, unvarnished insight can just come across as critical or cynical. But when you deliver that perspicacious observation with gravitas, it's treated as wisdom. To really develop this skill, you have to practice asking not just what if, but what must be true for this to be happening?
That's a great question. It forces you to look beyond the surface.
Right into the unspoken dynamics.
That makes perfect sense. So gravitas gives the insight its weight, and perspicacity gives the insight its accuracy. Okay, let's get to the final piece of the puzzle. Communication.
Right.
Once you have that sharp insight, you have to deliver it. You have to cut through all the noise. Our final word is salient. S-A-L-I-E-N-T.
And this word is, it's probably the most necessary tool for survival in the modern world of just constant information overload.
I agree. Salient is an adjective. It means most noticeable or important. It sounds simple, but it's all in the application.
Well, think about cognitive load. Everyone is dealing with it. The mental effort it takes just to process information. If you hand someone a 20-page report, they have to spend so much energy just trying to figure out what matters.
But if you use the concept of salient points, you're doing that work for them. It's almost a professional courtesy.
Exactly. If you're presenting to an executive, your job isn't to list every single fact. It's to identify and articulate the salient few.
The need-to-know points.
The ones that actually drive the decision. You have to filter the essential from the merely descriptive.
And again, the word itself reinforces the meaning. I love this part. If something is salient, it literally jumps out at you. It comes from the Latin root salire, which means to leap.
It's the linguistic equivalent of a spotlight. When you use this word, you are consciously directing attention. And if you fail to do that, you risk burying your most important conclusion under a mountain of detail. You're just wasting their time.
That raises a really key point. What's the risk of getting the salient point wrong? Say I'm selling a product and I focus on the color options because they're easy to talk about.
Right.
But I forget to mention the 10-year warranty. I've prioritized a trivial detail over the crucial differentiator.
That is the danger. You misjudge what's actually important to your audience. The source material had that perfect comparison with the car.
Oh, yeah.
The most salient feature of the new car isn't its color, but its incredible safety rating. Everyone sees the color, but the safety rating is the truly critical, life-altering fact.
So if you're presenting to a board, they don't care about the color of the car. They care about the safety rating, the risk, the profit, the core strategic advantage.
And if you, the communicator, start with the safety rating, you instantly build credibility. It shows you understand the goal of the meeting isn't just to talk, it's to act on critical facts.
So salient is really about ruthless focus. It allows your sharp insights, your perspicacity, to land with impact because they aren't diluted.
That's the synthesis. That's
Yeah.
how it all fits together. You've got the intellectual weight of gravitas, the mental sharpness of a perspicacious insight, and the focused communication of the salient point. They all work in concert.
Okay, let's do a quick recap of these three high-quality concepts. We started with gravitas, that serious, dignified presence that pulls people in, built on confidence and wisdom. It's the force field around your ideas.
Then we analyze perspicacious, having that sharp, insightful mind that sees the underlying connections, allowing you to spot the true flaw or the hidden opportunity before anyone else.
And finally, salient. Identifying and communicating the one or two most important parts of something, making sure your message leaps out and cuts through all the noise.
And if you miss one of those components, the whole structure starts to weaken. You can have the sharpest idea in the world, but if you deliver it without gravitas, it can be easily dismissed.
And if you have gravitas but you bury your key point under a lot of clutter,
Then it isn't salient, and it just fails to connect.
to really gain that influence, you need all three working together. You need the gravitas to command attention, use your perspicacious mind to form the insight, and then deliver that insight as the salient point.
And this knowledge is only really valuable when you apply it. So, we want to leave you with that final provocative thought from the source material.
What's the takeaway?
For the next 24 hours, try to actively filter everything you encounter. In every meeting you're in, every article you read, every conversation, just ask yourself one question. What is the most salient point here?
Don't just passively absorb the information. Actively hunt for the point that truly leaps out. Once you can identify that salient point, you hold the key. You can engage with the world using both your intellectual depth and your confident presence. That's the real shortcut to becoming both well-informed and influential.